Hey, what's up, guys? The Dark Side of Good. Man, like I said, the strongest horror magazine that along with, like I said, Scary Monsters. I keep bringing it up. I mean, this is heads and tails beyond all the other horror mags that you have that maybe cover the similar films. Scary Monsters tend to cover the more classic films. This also does that, plus newer films. I mean, stuff from the 90s. You can even argue the 2000s are classics now. It doesn't take much when you're in this sort of. There's no way you can make a class. We're in that zone, right? That cultural void zone of declining civilization where there can be no classics now. There can be no classics now. 30 years from now, what's here today will not be remembered. But then again, maybe we should worry about, instead of old horror films, I don't know, things like whole ethnic groups of people. But anyway, let's not go to that dark side yet. Yeah, you're having a good summer. It's gonna be a good summer, as you can see, huh? Yeah, around you. And we gotta hear like Allan is the. I love this dude. This bloke is a pisser. Alright. Hello again, boys and ghouls, and things aren't great in the Bryce household. I handed my wife a glue stick instead of a chopstick, and she still isn't talking to me. I married Yanni for her looks, but not the one she's been giving me lately. I'm only joking, of course. It wasn't for marriage. Men would go through life thinking they had no faults at all. Seriously, though, Yanni's having the time of our lives right now. Even at an age where we turn off the lights in the house in the evening for economic rather than romantic reasons. Oh, I got a million. Oh man, the one-liners, man. I mean, that's gone, right? There you go through here. Just talking about the having a convention, the Shed of Hell, and I'll show you what that is literally. So I'm talking about some of the publishing stuff they're doing. I like how he describes the monster kid, right? Because he is a monster kid. He is that age, right? I'm too young to be a monster kid, if you could believe that. I'll be publishing in 1968 Memoirs of a Monster Kid. Scribbled, was this, similar. I was 14 going on 15, seeing lots of TV shows and movies that would stay with and influence me for the rest of my life. I have to say, I had more than a chuckle or two myself when typing it all up. Oh, wait. Oh. The book is basically an extension of my dark side editorial, so be warned. And I am very proud to say that it may reflect dated attitudes. Yes, that's why we love your island. This guy. Does anyone remember DFC Sons? Remember the video where he's talking about the 7 golden vampires? And oh man, that was funny when you mentioned that's what you're not supposed to say, which you shouldn't say. About the Chinese vampire. Yeah, and yeah, you see this, right? The Hammer scrapbook. I just bought this. Yeah. I bought something in pounds. Yes, the pound is definitely stronger than the dollar. But I mean, look at this, man. 100-page day-by-day production diary of the making of Hammer's cursed blood from the mummy's tomb using daily progress reports. Extracts from Valerie Lyon's annotated scripts and loads of red images. Love all the mummy films. Actually, all the mummy films are really good. The Mummy Shroud was the one I had seen the least, and I had saw that last autumn, and it was really really good, man. So, of course, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, big man. That freaked me out as a kid, but I bought this bloody thing, man. 40 pounds. Anyway, now this is weird here. I don't know. This comic company, American Mythology Productions, they do like, I guess they do like the bottom end, like $2 IPs or whatever. And they're teaming up Silent Night, Deadly Night, right? Naughty, right? But for some reason, and there's gotta be a reason I can easily find out. The Valentine's Bluff Massacre. That's funny. The Killer Santa from Silent Night, Deadly Night. The Bloody Miner from Valentine Bluffs Massacre. Meet in the Asylum. But I don't remember a film being called Valentine Bluffs Massacre. some legal thing has gone on. Obviously, this is Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. Maybe the best slasher film of that time period. But I'm just saying. Anyway, wow, Wingshausen died, man. Remember Vice Squad? Oh my God. Oh jeez. Mutant. Remember Mutant? Oh, a very underrated film. Anyway, rest in peace, man. Let me go over this actress. I've seen this actress. I just never really thought of her. Right? She was the little girl in the Turn of the Screw adaptation, The Innocent. And she's interesting. She was also in. Look at these movies. Necromancy. Yeah. Anyway, but it's just a bunch of horror films. Lots of these horror films. And a thriller, too. Interesting. And Soon the Darkness. I'm not really familiar with her, though. I'm going to look her up. She's cute. She was the, I think she was the pregnant woman in Food of the Gods. Remember that movie? And they make fun of it. Oh, it's very campy. That movie scared the shit out of me, man. Bird Eye Gordon. That movie was nasty. That movie was bloody. Anyway, so the Bird Eye Gordon, very underrated. Another victim of those robots. If you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, going to the movies, the letters. Of course, one of my favorite underrated films, The Creeping Flesh. This is another beautiful actress, Lorna Helbert. I don't think she really did anything else. But look at this, another. You could tell the composition here is you could tell this is the 70s. Love the way they used to do the composition. Right? It's very dated, but it's cool. Right? I'd rather be dated. I don't want to be modern anymore. So right, of course, they're mentioning the subject of horror film books. Right, the Dennis Gilford's Total History of Horror. I've gone over that, but this one here, John Brosnan's The Horror People. Right, so now another one I have to find somehow. Dawn of the Shed. So this is the Shed of Hell. Look at this. Look at the architecture. It's definitely the time period of the early 20th century. So Allan is having this thing. This dude, this is the artist, dude. Look at this dude, bro. I could tell that if I was like Seb, if we were hanging in the pub drinking, I could not hang with this dude. I would be under the table, passed out or thrown up. He'd be still at the bar, like laughing with some bird. I could just tell, man. I could not go the distance with that dude. So interesting. Man, we gotta hope it goes good. This Shed of Hell. I like that. Man. Dawn of the Mummy. I gotta get this, man. I didn't have this as a bootleg from Midnight Video. It was one I wanted to get it, but this movie, man. If this is the guys, the Egyptian canon wannabes of Harmony Gold, better known for something else, right? Than this, but it's all a horror film they did. Of course, this was one of the video nasties because it combines the mummy story with flesh-eating zombie acolytes of the mummy. So a lot of gore, a lot of really atmosphere. This is a really good movie, man. This is a really good film. I mean, for what it is, early 80s, zombie horror influenced film. And this dude is so annoying. The blonde dude, so annoying. I think maybe I have a Blu-ray player. I need to get this film. So the ending is pretty nasty, man. You know me, I like Mummy. So Funhouse, say the God. This is such an underrated film. Okay, I think this might be Tobe Hooper's greatest film, and that's saying a lot. And this is a guy that doesn't seem to get a lot of respect, right? Just for the atmosphere of the Funhouse, like the old spook houses. This dude, remember the father? This guy was as menacing as the killer in it. As you see, if you saw the film, you know what his deal is. Remember, there's a scene with the prostitute. It was kind of sad, but that sadness turns into homicidal, action. But this guy conveyed menace that was as unsettling as the friggin', You know, remember when him and the jock fight, and you see he gets the better of the jock because he's a dirty fighter. Remember that? So, but obviously, they're all gonna be in trouble from this dude who's had this thing, but he's not a thing. He's a man. He's a mutant who's had enough. So, and ironically, right, they made a, I think they mentioned how, of course, Japan is a big film, right? Oh my God, oh man, bro, and the annoying little kid, remember? But he was funny. Remember the beginning? It's basically like a kind of taking the piss out of Halloween, right? They talk about the versions of the film. It was gonna be a little different. The novelization by this Dean Koontz with a pseudonym, which came out before the film. People thought the film was an adaptation. The film got delayed. This was the adaptation. Interesting stuff, man. Great film. If you haven't seen this, man, you gotta see it, man. I don't know what else to say. Coming through, want to just go. Oh, don't torture Duckling, man. Full cheat. This film. That scene the scene in the graveyard with the woman getting chain whipped by the mob of guys when the music's playing in the background. That is probably one of the most disturbing scenes in the film. I will be honest with you. Okay, so this is the Eaten Alive. This was like the Jim Jones kind of cannibal film that Umberto Lenzi, the great Umberto Lenzi, did. It's interesting. They had in the extras here, he meets Rosario Diodato, and they were actually talking. Of course, both men were known for the cannibal films, right? Of course, Man from Deep River was done first by Lenzi, but that wasn't here. Right? Of course, Last Cannibal World. This is Diodato. This is the next step for this is of course Cannibal Holocaust. But I remember this film. So this was a better film than Lenzi's Eaten Alive. Diodato, some of the films he made. So, of course, one of the greatest films Diodato made was a cop film, but technically not a cop film. You know what I'm talking about, right? Live Like a Cop, Die Like a Man. Probably one of the best action movies, crime movies, whatever you want to call it. Probably one of the best Italian violent movies I've ever seen. Okay, it's on YouTube, so check it out. And this is funny. I saw this. Right? I think Alan Scouser was reviewing this. I thought this was like a takeoff. Like this was like modern people trying to make like an old horror film. Apparently, this is Tygon made a lot of more. Tygon Studios made a lot more films than I was aware of. Of course, Frankie Avalon is in this. Remember Frankie Avalon? No, you don't. I don't. I mean, that's before my time. So, I make this one. Of course, Bella when he was in England. Of course, the run he did throughout England, the theatrical run, was not a success. I mean, he got paid, and the irony is that when you read about it, and people who remember Lugosi at this point playing Dracula, they say the guy actually was on the top of his game. At the end of his life, the guy could play Dracula like mesmerize anyone that watched it. And of course, there was one showing. Only 3 people showed up, and this man was like, "No, we're going to. The show must go on." And he performed for those 3 people. He gets a bad rap as an actor. I don't know why, man. Any Bela Lugosi, versus Brooklyn Gorilla, it's still better than like 100 things you have coming out now. And we'll wrap it up with a film that I have not seen, which you think with Oliver Reed I should see the damn thing. Ken Russell, The Devils, man. Just the visuals of this. Of course, it's a Ken Russell film, so it's very decadent, right? Very sleazy. Oh, hey, very, very. And of course, this is more of a horror film, very brutal. Very, and of course, Oliver Reed, an interesting story to him. Of course, being a bad boy, drinking and causing trouble, but agreeing to always pay for the damages. I always like that dude, but of course, the censor is a very censored film. But I need to see this. I know I can find it somewhere. So, but now it's up there, right? Deathline, right, and the Wicker Man is up there with the brick horror flicks that are a little more sophisticated, I guess you'd say. Yeah, great. I mean, he is a great actor, man. Yeah, that what I liked about Reed is, man. Yeah, he conveys menace. Everyone knows that, but you could tell he was a very intelligent person, very smart, a very smart person. Uh, anyway, and that is another issue. Wait, round it out real quick. Obviously this is a Britain, right? They used to have remember they used to have those the tales to read during the day, or they used to have something like that. Apparently there were these horror collections that came out, and look at the cool covers. Right? They started doing photo covers, of course, are cheaper, right, than artwork. And apparently these things originally they would have classic stories, right, mixed in with a little more raunchy ones. But as the decade went on, some of the stories were really nasty. You know, this one I like this one here. And did you know? I didn't know this. Apparently, H.G. Wells' Little Red severed head on the Rampage shocker, Pollock and the Poro Man. I've never even heard of that. Now, gonna look it up. But some of the stories here, they got, I don't know, just interesting. Yeah, some of these get really nasty. It was the 70s. Right? Yeah, interesting, So more, I love the old horror anthologies. So, and, yeah, another great, I mean, I could go on forever. Another great issue. Allan always knocks it out, man, and there doesn't sign any signs of slowing up. And hey, man, I love this picture, bro. I love this picture, man. Two dudes having beers, man. That's it. So, could have been. Anyway, and real quick, I never heard of this. I don't know. I've never heard of this director, but this is, I believe, based on a Mancunian bouncer. This was like in the Jeff Thompson kind of slot here. There was a guy talking about being a bouncer up in Manchester. The Tuxedo Warrior, the doorman. Interesting. But this guy, look at all the films this guy did. Monster films. Anyway, went on too long. But how could I not? Allan put so much stuff in here. And like I always said, the format, the layout is brilliant. I feel like I'm paying, and he's kept the price as low as it could be, right? I feel like I'm always getting my money's worth with this, big time. So, all right, man. Good night from the dark side.